Hi, everyone. I'm here with Elliot Walker. He is the founder and CEO of the massage company. Hi, Elliot.
Hi, Doug. Great to be here with you.
Yeah, good. Yeah, nice to see you. And we caught up at the recent franchise show in London. So yeah. I guess one thing to ask was how did you find the show?
That since we started the massage, so I've been going to franchise shows kind of since I came to London. So I'd have, as in my previous careers, I'd have dropped into the franchise show, seeing what I could do from everything from seeing what I could do in life, seeing what options were out there, and that was the busiest show that I have ever been to or exhibited at. So it was fantastic, and from a franchisor perspective, the quality of people that were looking was really encouraging for the people that are coming and looking to come into franchising. There's obviously a lot of people right now who are looking at changing careers, looking to open their own business, and there was thousands of them at the franchise show looking at how franchising could be one of their opportunities.
Yeah, no, I'd agree, Elliot. I mean, obviously we're exhibiting there as well, and the Excel, the show London Excel is one we look forward to every year. And it was very very buzzy indeed. And I had a chance to walk around the show, and there was a really good representation of brands and high quality stands. I always look at that exhibition stands. I always go around and I say, well, that's always a gauge for me. And when you walk into a show where there's a lot of scruffy looking stands, that's always a bit of a sign. But I didn't see much of that at all. So that was a good indicator too. So and the footfall was amazing. Yeah, totally agree. It was just, we were right at the entrance, and it didn't stop both days. So yeah, all good. Let's hope you get a franchisee from that.
Yeah, I think there was. I think you go away and you remember conversations that you've had or some of the team have had from the day, and it's having credible people, and it's the first time we get to meet people when we're at a trade show. So it's kind of like an interview for us, isn't it? We're trying to, at every point up to signing that franchise agreement, we're trying to work out whether or not that person is going to make a success of, I represent the massage company, so are they going to make a success of the massage company? Are they going to make a success of that business? So as well as that person trying to find information out about the business, what's the investment, what they're going to make out of it, how much time is it going to take, and all of those questions. So I think it's a real joint process. And there were some really, really great people that we met that I would love to welcome into the massage company as potential franchisees.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Elliot, we better talk to people about who the massage company actually are, what you do, what you offer your customers, and just how the service works. I think it's really important because a name is one thing, but there's so much more behind the massage company than just the name.
I totally agree with you. So at the massage company, so we started in 2016. We've now got 9 centres. I think we'd have been considerably more had we not had a number of shutdowns during the lockdowns. But I think we're all past that now. Our previous centres are all through, and the new centres obviously don't know anything about that. So we've got the massage company makes massage mainstream. It makes massage not seen as a treat and a luxury, but part of an everyday healthier lifestyle. And it's our job to try and get that message out there to people so they can understand that there's a place, hopefully all over the UK, they can go to get regular massage treatments that are a really good quality at a really good price.
And you operate a membership model, is that right? Explain a little bit how that works from a customer perspective, because it's a really interesting concept, and it's a concept that's extremely well developed in North America. It's not so well known in the UK, but it's gaining traction and it makes a lot of sense. So I just wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, membership business, subscription businesses have a real place, especially where that the product helps that customer. So we have customers coming in for all sorts of reasons. They can come in with medical reasons, such as neck, back and shoulder pain. They've got stress, depression, anxiety, PTSD. They can come in because they want a relaxing treatment and they want to get out of the house. They want to come in for a couples massage. They might want to come in for a mother and daughter massage. And what we're doing is we're showing them what a purpose-built massage center with 10 to 15 treatment rooms that is open 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, slightly shorter on a Sunday, but open, accessible through all hours of the day by really, really well-trained therapists. And we can invest in their training because we know how the business runs because of the subscription model. So when you put all that together, it means for a reasonably priced subscription, we can offer customers regular massage so they can benefit from the physical and mental health benefits of having regular massage, and we can make it affordable for the customer. But as a franchisee or as a franchisor, the business can also invest in their teams and in their because they know where that business is coming from. So I think I always believe that if you've got a business where everybody's winning, everybody's benefiting from that, then you've got a really, really really strong business.
And Elliot, so when it comes to massage, my own experience, and when I talk to a lot of people, it's their experience, is that there's an inconsistency. So you just if you want to go for a massage, whether it's a sports massage, relaxation, or whatever else, unless you find someone who really kind of gets you and you kind of have a bond with, and you can go and get a massage with them once a month, which is quite hard to find. That's the biggest problem. You pay the money and you're not sure whether you're going to get what you expect. Now, how do you address that problem that is really common within the massage company? Because I think that's really important to address.
I love this because this gets to the heart of the problem and what the massage company has addressed in the UK. So the problem is inconsistency, and you have a product that is unscalable because the way that is delivered by the thousands and thousands of practitioners across the UK varies so greatly. So we have our director of training, John Holm. Now, there's very few people in the world who've delivered over 50,000 treatments themselves. So just to put that into perspective, that's 30 treatments a week for 30 years without taking a break. That's a huge amount of treatments. So John is our director of training. And when my business partner, Charlie Thompson, first met with John to create the Massage Company Training Academy, it was, how do we make this better than you can get on the high street? How do you make this better than you can get in a spa? How do you make this a treatment so that we can deliver thousands of these massages every month, and the quality at the end of the day is still as good as the start, so that every customer has a great treatment? And that's what I believe that we've done. So we offer the four most popular types of massage in the world: deep tissue, sport, maternity, and classic Swedish. And we offer some upgrades that go alongside that, so that the massage can be really personalized to that customer's requirements. But at the same time, we can train that with our therapists to such a high degree so that that massage is an exceptional quality every single time. And then on the other side of that, things go wrong times, in every business. And so we have the good massage guarantee. So if a customer is not entirely satisfied with their treatment that they've had, we will offer that customer a complimentary treatment. And more often than not, that customer will then join the massage company and the membership and the subscription program, because we've gone above and beyond what they would ever have experienced anywhere else. And we've given them and found the treatment that is right for them. So I think it all comes down to the initial training that we do, the training programs that we put together, and then I would say quite huge investment that we put into training and development of our therapists.
Okay, so so that's great, Elliot, and that makes absolute sense. And that's how the business was built originally. And I wanted to go, I wanted to go back to that. And was you've just described probably the reasons why you had the vision, you and Charlie, to start this business and grow it. When did the idea of franchising the business as a way to grow, when did that come into your thinking? Was that really early doors, or was that once you had achieved a successful independent business? Talk me through that part of the journey.
I think this helps to understand that my background and Charlie's background, because it puts we're from this industry. Charlie was ran Virgin Active's 80 spas across the UK. So he ran the biggest chain of spas across the country. He had the most therapists, he had the biggest deals, he had the biggest marketing budget. So he had all that, and he had all that experience. And then I came from a skincare brand. So we did facials and body treatments, and we supplied 500 spas and salons across the country. And so when we came together, we knew that franchising from the start was the way that we wanted to expand this. We had some capital ourselves. We've invested in a number of centres, to as the pilot site, and then some further ones. But really, we want to be amazing franchisors that support our franchisees. So right from the start, the conversations with suppliers, with all of the suppliers, from sort of outbound lead generation to IT, to where team members come from, and then into product, all was around how this business is going to expand and the size that we believe it is across the UK. And when we did that, franchising was always at the front of it. And one of the funniest things really is that some suppliers don't want to go on that journey, or have been unable to. So you think that, we're there, we've done 1, 2, then they're just not capable. They haven't been capable of scaling with us. And so I think where we are now, approaching 10 and then expanding up from there, I think we've got a great supplier base that allows us and the suppliers to really focus and support franchisees during that. But it was right from the start, Doug. It was an initial consideration and how we wanted to grow the business from our very first conversations.
Yeah, no, that's great, Elliot, because we talk to so many business owners, and many have never even really thought about franchising as a concept for business growth. They've just grown their own business, and they may have done it very, very well, but it's only after a period of time they start thinking, oh, how can we grow? This should be in every town and city, and that's normally where it starts. And that's when people normally typically find franchising in the way that we're talking about it, and it goes from there. And then we talk to other business owners, and obviously you're in that camp, you and Charlie, where you understood what franchising was, even whilst you were developing the independent business. And I think there's a big help, and you can definitely create good shortcuts, not shortcuts that cause problems, good shortcuts to getting where you need to be. Elliot, one thing I also wanted to talk to you about was when this kind of a model launched in the US many years ago, and it's now a very, very well formed and developed concept, and consumers understand it and appreciate it. When you looked at the UK, did you see it as a challenge to change perception from the consumer side of things as to what massage was, what it should be, what it could be, and what do you guys do to challenge those perceptions?
We have certainly gone on that journey, and I think if we look at the take-up of massage in the UK, we would know what that percentage is. We would know the journey that the US has gone through. I think the UK is known for taking US businesses 10, 15 years later. At no point would anybody, if you go back to even Domino's coming over, and we will open up a takeaway pizza place, and it'll have thousands of units across the UK and people owning hundreds of them. Just that there would be, if we go back in time, there would be a point that people would go, that won't happen. That won't be a huge business. And I think we're at that stage now where health and wellness is such a priority in people's lives. The gym sector is still growing. It amazes me. New brilliant concepts come out of the gym world, and it's still growing. But I think of how many thousands of centers of gyms there are across the UK, and then we're now operating in the in the health and wellness sector, in the leisure sector, where we're providing regular massage therapy, and we're the first company that's been able to make that scalable, because we've addressed that quality issue. And the quality issue comes from the training, and the only reason we can offer the training is because the business model and the subscription model allows us to do that. So there's many points that make us who we are and how we're expanding. And I think we're about bringing customers in for their first treatment so they can see what we offer. I think the market in 10, 20 years' time will be very different. People will be used to massage subscriptions, because I know how many thousands are already having that from us right now. And again, interesting things about how the market's developing is, at Christmas time, we get people all over the country looking for massage vouchers for their friends and family in the areas that we are. But we can't offer Edinburgh, we can't offer Bristol yet, we can't offer Brighton. But when we can, there's another explosion of growth that we'll see as that awareness comes about. And it's trust, isn't it? I mean, that's what people want from a franchise brand. You go to it because you trust the brand, you trust what it's delivering, and you don't get that from independent operators.
Yeah, no, Elliot, absolutely right. I mean, you have such a great concept, and it's absolutely being proven in the areas that you're open in, and the areas that you're not open in. And you mentioned some of those key locations there. You need a franchisee, you need an investor to go in and work with you to open that in that area. And then the awareness builds from there, and it's already proven. You've proven that you can do that, so that's not a problem. To anyone listening that's interested in the massage company from an investment perspective, be it at a higher level or actually being an operator and being a franchisee or an investor franchisee, where's the best place for them to start finding out more? Where can they go? Let us know.
Yeah, the first place to come into is the massage company website. So it's massagecompanyfranchise.co.uk. And as if we met you at a trade show, that's our first interaction with you. Then if we meet you on the website, that's our first interaction with you. So we would collect your details, and then we would arrange a call with you. So look, we've had some great interactions with the franchise centre on our franchise processes and how we deal with people coming through, and so from that initial call, we would then arrange to have a discovery day. At that discovery day, and we're really trying to give enough information about the business so that prospective franchisee can understand what they're getting into. And at that point, all I'm really looking for is, are they excited about the business, and do I think they'll make it work? And then really it's this journey we go on together. I'm trying to share information about the business, the pros and the cons, the things that work really well, but also the things that are a little bit more hard work. And so when we go through each stage, it's just another stage on the journey, because the franchise agreement isn't the final stage. The opening the property isn't the final stage. The 2 years or wherever it point down there once you've been open isn't the final stage. It's a long journey together, and I'm finding it really interesting because we're meeting some amazing people on that journey. But it's how you come through and learn about the different points. But start on the Massage Company franchise website, and then come in, find out about the business. That's the best place.
Yeah, I was going to say, Elliot, I mean, I've been in one or two of your centers over the years, and And it's amazing. And that is one thing I would encourage people, anyone that is interested. Yeah, you can look at a website and you get good information initially on that. But the absolute best thing to do is to organize to go and actually visit a location, and experience the service. I mean, maybe they're two different trips, but it's well worth doing. And because you can't get across everything you guys do, because I've walked through those doors, in any other way really, until you get to that point. So yeah, so that's definitely the way forward. For anyone interested in becoming, or for anyone interested in becoming a customer, or looking at, oh, that's really like that idea. I need a massage every month or two or whatever it is. Where's the best place for them to go? So, again, that's a different demographic. So yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so our whole consumer marketing is, I'd say it's a beast now. So we would attract and we would go out and find customers from many, many different places to come in for their first experience. And whether that would be online, whether it would be at a sporting event, whether it would be at a gathering of people that would want to find out about massage therapy, whatever that reason is, that's their first interaction with us, and then they'd come in for their treatment. And one of the things at the massage companies, that we are trying to make massage part of an everyday healthier lifestyle and make it convenient, make it accessible, so that it's not a spa day. This is come in for an hour in your lunchtime, and you can come in, you can be out and back at work. You can come in, you can fit it in during the, looking after children. You can do it fitting in, coming out in when you're in a shopping centre or in a town. And that's what we're trying to make, so that it can fit in, and then you can get the benefits of massage therapy, because they're multiple and they're significant on people.
Yeah, no, yeah, good. I totally understand. Elliot, having looked into myself, it's massage can be a real game changer for people in so many ways. So, yeah, with you on that. One thing I wanted to ask was, if you were talking to a business owner who's running a successful business and they're considering franchising as a way of growing, what tip or main tips would you give them, like, to start that process off? Because you obviously thought of franchising as you were developing the business, but yeah, what tips would you give to that business owner that's at that starting point in their journey?
If I was a business owner and I was at the start again of expanding my business through franchising, I would 100% use professionals at every point. So a professional consultant, the franchising center have some fantastic services for people. So that would be certainly one of the places that people should start to look for information, support, because you don't know all the things that you should be doing to be a great franchisor. You don't. And we were really lucky at the massage company, because the way that Charlie and I had split the business, in that he would run the operational side of it and really develop the teams and the support in that side, I was able to concentrate fully on the franchising and the franchising growth. So we hopefully have quite a developed franchise system, thanks to the support that we had from the franchising center, thanks to the support we've had from other areas, from lawyers and from everything, to make sure that our franchise agreements were right. But then our franchise agreements were right first time, so they were then BFA compliant. Whereas, if you'd gone through that and done agreements and changed it and updated, I think my biggest advice would be get advice and support from professionals that have done it before. Because just like franchising which is you do it faster, you do it cheaper, and you do it more successfully, and that's to open up an individual unit, then you're doing all the same as a franchisor. You want to open up your first franchisee, the best one you can get, the best franchisee, correctly, with the right documentation, with the right support. And if you're just figuring that out yourself, you're not going to be able to offer them everything than if you'd taken professional advice from businesses like the franchising sector that have done it many times before across, I think, many industries in the in the UK and abroad. So yeah, but definitely take advice on it.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of you to mention us, Elliot, on that. But there's a more general message there, and I think, to build on what you say, and it's difficult because we always talk about, oh, you don't know what you don't know, and it's hard to explain to a business owner who hasn't been through the journey, Elliot, that you've been through. You and Charlie have, well, you especially, because you kind of ran the franchising side of the business for all this time, so but actually when you franchise your business, you are effectively starting a new business, and you're having to allocate new budgets, and the marketing function is totally different to the marketing function in your own independent business, because that's targeting consumers and customers, people that want a massage, subscription model based, all that kind of stuff. That inside out. That's your game. But attracting potential franchisees and investors, that's new to most business owners when they look to expand through franchising. The operational structure and setup around bringing those people through a process to get to a franchise agreement being signed, that's a totally new business. The legal aspects, totally new part of the business. So everything is actually totally new. And that's where, yeah, we definitely say, come speak to us, speak to other, franchise professionals, speak to other franchisors. There's a good community, and actually a lot of franchisors are really good at sharing, really good at helping others. And that's really what we're trying to do, is just promote more knowledge and information, because what is the saddest thing to see is when a really, really good business that should be everywhere around the UK makes some of the wrong decisions, or doesn't do some of the things which you've explained, and they either lose a lot of money or lose a lot of time, or both. And in the worst case scenarios, it kills their original independent business, which was a really good one, because the franchising side just draws all the cash out, and both kind of fail. And that's like a worst case scenario. It's just never where you want to be. So without scaring anyone about like getting into franchising as a model for growth, there are good ways and bad ways to approach it. So yeah, I think that's the main takeaway on that. And Elliot, as an existing franchisor, and you've got these centers up, and your business model is quite a complex one compared to lots of other franchise models, because there's quite a lot of moving parts. There's premises, there's quite big premises, there's detail within that. But to existing franchisors, what advice would you give them, or what would you say has really worked for you in terms of supporting those franchisees that have come on board?
Because we know our franchisees from the start, and it's interesting now, isn't it? Because I'm meeting them quite early on in that journey, and so we have a totally different relationship. A franchisee coming in, meeting with CEO, managing director, and it's a relationship that will always be there. And as we grow, there's just a point where that won't be possible in the same way. So our team, there are stages that we've gone through, and now we have our franchise support office, which really is being built to support our franchisees as we grow. And they are phenomenal at what they do. So whether that's recruitment of therapists, recruitment of managers, assistant managers, whether it's the marketing side of finding those customers that you said, those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of new customers to come in every month, whether it's the operational training so that we can deliver that high quality massage treatment, whichever part of that is, there's now a system in place, and it's the systems and processes that we put into the massage company are now in place for our franchisees. So when somebody comes into the massage company, it's a relatively smooth process. You know, we might find issues with the build, we might find issues in the tap, but we can deal with all of those things. But because the team's there to support that at every angle. And I think that just means that as we grow, franchisees can come along on the journey knowing that the support will be there in all the functions where they really know, because we also know what areas need more support as well, and which are the most important ones for business success. So when we put all of those together, we can support those franchisees in those areas. But ultimately, what we're looking for is amazing franchisees that have some sparkle. I mean, that's why franchising works. You know, we've got a great product, we've got some great processes and procedures that allow you to start a massage business at Formula One speed, start with hundreds of customers, grow really fast. But it's the sparkle that comes along with a franchisee that really adds something special to a franchise business. And that's what we're looking for.
Okay, Elliot, talk to me a little bit about that. So tell me a bit about the ideal profile traits of a good franchisee from your side at whichever level. Sparkle's one thing, so I get that, right? But what else? Tell me a bit more.
If I can start off by saying what it certainly isn't. If you classify yourself as a out and out entrepreneur that wants to develop and change and amend concepts, then franchising is not for you. You will get frustrated by the process because you want to do things differently. You want to add, you want to enhance what others have taken. You know, I mean, we're not that old in the UK. You know, there are some franchise businesses that are decades old that have worked at that business. They've seen the market shift, they've seen the market grow, and they're experts at that. So if you are in that category where you want to create, franchising is probably not for you. But then we look at who is franchising for. So I remember when I was walking around those franchise shows thinking, I know I want to do something. I know I want to run my own business. I'm pretty good at these things. And I knew which those were because they're probably still true today. But I was walking around that show to see if something would grab me enough that I would be like, yes, I'm now going to make the step out of my employment at the time or what I was doing to do this new venture. And what we certainly see is that people come with their backgrounds. So we've got a really great IT professional who was instrumental in us implementing an updated IT system. They were the best. The rest of the franchisees, that was not that they didn't offer into that, but this one was really good. We have one that's the chief marketing officer and was for some really big brands on the high street. He offers amazing high level marketing he's brought into his franchise. And I think what we do as a franchise business at the massage company is find the franchisee, understand quite quickly what they are good at and what they are strong at. And then how do we build their team around them so that it complements their skill set? So if they're sales, then we need marketing, we need operational support, we need recruitment, we need training. If they're amazingly good at operations and that's their core focus, then we need to fill in those other areas. And again, our team is doing that for them, right from who we recruit to the training plans we offer. So I think people have something special inside them, and it's their history, it's their, you know, that job they did 10 years ago and learned something from. Bring all those things, we want to know about them, and then we will build a team around you to support your business growth so that you've got the best chance of making it a really, really good success.
Yeah, team being the operative word there, Elliot. You know, I believe in teams at every single level, and again, I think it's important that anyone looking to invest in any franchise should ask the questions of the franchisor about their team and how long those people have been involved in a business, what they do, and so on, because it's a really, really good indicator. If a franchisor has a good, strong team who's been there for many years, that's a really good indicator. If you're talking to a franchisor who no one really seems to have been there that long, the marketing person hasn't been there that long, the ops person hasn't been there that long, the salesperson hasn't been, then you've got to challenge that and find out why. So yeah, I think that's a draws out another good tip, I think, when it comes to people investing in a franchise.
I'm glad we're on that side of it then, because I didn't know that was one of your criteria, Doug. So that's good. So our team have been, but your comment about the questions that a franchisee should be asking, I think is really relevant for somebody exploring franchising, because I want you to ask questions. We are literally going on a journey together to hopefully make you have a really, really successful business. And I love the questions that people ask. I'm still waiting for ones now that I don't yet have the answer for, because a lot of the same questions keep coming back. And it's, what's my involvement? What's the financials? How does the business run? I don't think you can do that. How can you do that? And, I can go into a lot of the detail in that, not obviously give the secret sauce away, but those questions and those interactions from people looking at franchising are an important indicator to me how I think they will fare as a franchisee in our system. And I think the ones that have done things, have explored the market, or the ones that have especially maybe done the BFA, the initial franchise I'm looking for franchising. What are the things that I should be looking for? The BFA is a really good resource for that kind of thing. And it's definitely made a difference to people we've spoken to when they've gone through that kind of prospective franchisee program with the BFA, because they're taught what a good franchise should do. And I'd like to think that we do that, again, thanks to the support that we've had from everybody that's got us to where we are now. And I believe we are great. We are good franchisors. And I like answering those questions so that I can show prospective franchisees that we have answers to all of their queries, and that we have thought of all of the things to help support them in their journey to being a success.
Yeah, well, Elliot, you've answered my questions really, really well, so I appreciate that. On that note, let's bring it to a close. And I just want to say thanks so much for your time. Any last words to say on this before I let you go?
Yeah, thank you very much. Look, I've enjoyed it from the very first moment that we've met you, Doug, and the whole team at the Franchising Centre. We've gained a lot from knowing you and working with you, and it's been a success. And I certainly recommend that to anybody else, and to anybody that's really looking at franchising. It's a fantastic sector. Take your time, find your brand, and make a really big success of it. And look forward to meeting you at the events or the franchise shows in the future, because we have a brilliant industry that is absolutely growing at a phenomenal speed. So great time to get into what we're doing.
Yeah, and I look forward to when the massage company open in Norfolk at some point, Elliot, and I'll be on the membership list at that point. So yeah, that'll be great.
VIP invite on the way, Doug.
Hey, there you go. All right. Okay, good. I've got something out of this. I love it. All right, Elliot. Well, thanks so much for your time. And yeah, we will see you around, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Cheers.